Welcome. This is the second part of the series, Resetting Windows 10 to Factory Defaults. The intent of this video is to show how to reset your computer from the Windows boot disk. This will cause data loss, but it is not an effective way to make sure your data is not recoverable forensically. You may use this process simply to freshen up a computer for reuse. We are using a different computer from part 1 of this series, but it should give us the same basic results. Let's go ahead and get started. You will have to determine how to boot your computer from the boot disk, and there are several different ways. Since we are using a Dell, we will hit the F12 key to get the boot menu. Then using the arrow keys, we will select the USB UEFI option and press enter. We will be using the Windows 10 64-bit option and hit enter. Windows will load the setup files into memory. Here we are given the option of choosing some locale settings such as language and time and currency settings. We will leave everything at default and click Next. Then click Install Now. Accept the license agreement and click Next. Here we can choose to upgrade, but we will choose the custom option. This displays the current partition layout of the drive. Since I want a clean install and want to make sure I get rid of any files residing in the partition table, I will choose to select each partition and delete them. This system only has a single drive, and this part will cause data loss, so be sure you want to do this before you start. Once the drive is clean, choose to install to the unallocated space and click Next. Windows will copy the installation files to the drive. This took about 4 minutes. Once completed, it will start the first reboot process. You can click Reboot Now or let it proceed on its own. We will let it reboot normally this time. This process is the longest portion of time due to files being copied and several automatic reboots. I have skipped through large sections of spinning circles just to save some time, but you'll be able to see the screen changes. This portion of the process takes about 15 minutes depending on the speed of your computer or the type of storage you have. Just go ahead and let it do its thing until it finally comes to the region selection screen. Here we will default to the United States and click Next. We will choose the US keyboard layout and click Next, and then skip adding a secondary layout. Spend another minute or two with the spinning dots until you are prompted to create an account. It is very important that if you do not want to use a Microsoft account, that you do not have your computer connected to the internet at this point. I am going to click to create an account. Type a username and click Next. We are going to leave a blank password and click Next. I am going to leave the privacy defaults and click Next, and accept the use of Cortana. At this point, it will wrap up the profile creation, which may take another minute or two, and then leave you with a blank desktop. At this point, you can go ahead and clear the initial notifications and then plug it into the internet to get your Windows updates rolling. This concludes our series on resetting Windows to factory defaults. If you found this helpful and want to see an alternative method, please check out the first part of this video on resetting Windows from within the operating system. Thank you, and as always, remember to shop locally online at shop.michaelcomputers.com.